How's it going, everybody? We are back with another episode of Unpacking with the Pros. Drew Kubler here with the July Champions Club box. We've got a lot of great baits in there, a lot of stuff to talk about today. But before we start, if you're not already a subscriber, head on over to the website, mlfchampionsclub.com. Get yourself signed up, $29.99 a month. We're going to send you baits every month, discount codes, webinars. You want it, we got it coming your way. So $29.99 a month. Go get signed up and you can get great boxes like these every single month. So before we dive into the baits, guys, I want to start out talking a little bit about the discount codes this month. So starting off, the shop MLF is now back open. It's back live. We've got a lot of new stuff on there, a lot of the great stuff that you all liked before we shut it down for a little bit. So we've got a 30% off code for the shop this month. So make sure to go check that out and get your 30% off. So next up, Castaic is going to come in with 25% off this month. They've got a ton of awesome products. I know the Jerky J is like the staple summertime bait, especially on those Tennessee River waterways, places like that. So go over there and get your 25% off, get stocked up on all the Castaic stuff that you need. And then last but not least, we've got kind of a special one that I want to talk about a little bit more. And that is going to be 10% off the leash, which is by Precision Sonar. So the guys over there at Precision actually sent me a box with a leash in it so I can show you all what it's all about. And let me get this thing out of there. I know it's not too pretty right here. But what this does is this, if you're not aware, it goes around the back of the outboard motor on your boat. And what this is going to do, this is a lifesaver, guys. There's been multiple boat accidents that we're all aware of where the outboard on the back of that boat has actually flipped up into the boat and has really hurt some people and even killed some people, unfortunately. So what the guys at Precision Sonar did is they came up with this. It is the same kind of material that they use in NASCAR and a couple other places. It's stronger than steel, actually. And what this will do, it'll either mount to your jack plate if you've got one, or you can mount it directly into the hull of your boat. And if that motor does hit something when you're running down the lake, this thing is going to act like a seat belt for that. And it is going to keep your motor from flipping up into the boat. So keep you guys safe while you're out there on the water. They've got everything that you'll need in here to mount it as well. So of course that was the leash itself. We've got some different brackets depending on what brand boat you run, as well as some anti-seize thread lock, everything you'll need, some anti-scuff pads, you name it, they're going to send it all to you. And while they might be a little bit pricey, you guys are going to be getting 10% off of them. And I mean, to spend a couple $100 to save your life, I think that's worth it myself. Hopefully you guys feel the same way. So this is a great opportunity. If you've been looking at getting one of these for your boat, now's the time to save 10% on it and stay safe out there on the water, guys, so you can have fishing trip after fishing trip. So that is the goal, right? So now that we've talked about the 3 different discount codes this month, it's time to open the box. That's right. So we've got 3 different pros coming on to talk to us a little bit today, but I am going to talk about 2 of the baits in this month's box. We only have 5 baits this month, but they're all going to be some of those higher ticket items. Let's see, 3 different baits in this box are over $10 on their own. So some pretty good stuff in here. I'm excited about it. Some classic summertime baits, and then some different things maybe that you have not thrown before for you guys to try out. So starting out, we are going to talk about these guys right here. So we'll start out with the Buckeye J. Will Swimbait heads. This is a 3-pack. Obviously, I've taken one out, rigged it up for you guys to show you all what it's all about. But a great Swimbait head. Comes with a 5/0, I believe, Mustad Ultra Point hook in it. Super stout hook. And these are 3/8 ounce, if I didn't say that already. And really just a great hook for swim bait fishing. You can use this size not only on the 5-inch swim baits that we're going to be sending you all, but you can even go down to like a 4.8 like high-tech style bait, or you can even go up to like a 6-inch swim bait if you needed to. So really a versatile size and a versatile weight there at 3/8 ounce. You can slow roll this thing and get it down deep, or if you're looking at some more active fish, you can kind of burn this thing over top their heads and get those bites that we're all looking for. So as you can see, I've got that hook paired up with another bait that's coming in this month's box, which is going to be the 5-inch BD Swim from Duckett Fishing. So this is Tennessee shad, and it is a 5-pack. And like I was saying, I'll show you guys now. I went ahead and rigged one up there on that Buckeye J. Will head. Perfect bait for summertime. Swim baits, big swim baits, classic summertime bait. So don't be afraid of throwing this thing. I know big swim baits are more well known for like our Tennessee River fisheries, places like that, but this 5-inch swim bait, it is going to be super versatile. You can fish this thing really just about anywhere in the country. Largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, they're all going to love this thing. And it is a good and soft swim bait if you can't tell by that. Really good 3D finish. You can kind of see the scales there on the top of it. And I can't say enough about it, especially this Tennessee shad color. So I'm excited for you guys to be getting these. I'm going to have to borrow a pack for myself, I think. Take them out there on Kentucky Lake, see what I can do with them. Hopefully go catch some good ones on it. So you guys have heard enough from me. So next up, we are going to hop on a call with Guntersville, Alabama pro, Chris Lane, who's going to talk to us about one of the bigger ticket items in this month's box. So Chris, how's it going?
Man, chilling out here on Lake Guntersville, coming up on, one of my favorite holidays. Actually got a big bouncy house, got a bunch of little kids coming over for the 4th. So we're going to have a big time and one of my favorite holidays. So just relaxing and enjoying some off time.
Very nice, man. Very cool. So happy to have you on here to talk about this bait. You know, it's a bait with your name on it. So we wanted to have you be the one to talk with us about it. And that bait is the River to Sea Lane, or Big Mistake. I'm sorry, Chris Lane, Big Mistake, not the lane changer, but second River to Sea bait we've had in a box. And I'm happy to have you on here talking with us about it. Let's hear a little bit about when and where you like to throw this bait this time of year.
Yeah, so you got the vegetation that's up right now. So you want to throw this on the edge of grass lines. You want to throw this around lily pads. You want to throw this over tops of hydrilla, big matted hydrilla or eelgrass, any kind of vegetation that's out there. One key with all of the baits that you talked about with the plastic prop, the lane changer, the Big Mistake, and the top knot, one thing you want to make sure is that you tie a long cinch knot on it. Palmar, any of that, it's not going to work. The line gets wrapped behind the impeller, but that's with all top water baits that have props. Make sure you have, a heavy monofilament and then tie that double cinch knot. You can extend it. I usually wrap it about 6 times and it gets me out there about that far. That's key when you're fishing, these prop baits, to make sure that the line doesn't get wrapped around there. 50-pound Bass Pro Shops braided line, 7/4 Duckett heavy rod is what I throw mine on. And, just get after it. That's one of the keys right now.
That was going to be my next question, is what kind of rod you throw this thing on, because it's a heavy bait. It's a bigger bait. So 7/4 heavy is kind of your go-to.
Yep. 7/4. I prefer the Chris Lane Pro Series, personally, but, you want a rod that's a little bit longer because it's a heavy top water. You're going to be able to cast it on school and fish. You're going to be able to get it out there and, put it where you want to, but you're going to need the backbone that you need in order to set the hook, because they're pretty big hooks on it. But hey, they're good.
They are. They're big hooks and they are sharp. I know, sitting here playing with it, they're pretty sticky, and I really like a lot of the paint jobs on these baits as well. I think Monkey Butt is the name of this one of all things, but really some good high quality paint jobs on them. They've got that 3D scale and the 3D gills as well. So with this being a bigger bait, I think that kind of those Nicer finished paint jobs really do come into play a little bit more than a smaller bait.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things is if you look at it from Okeechobee to Gunnersville, all the way even up north, you know, a lot of those big fish, you have to throw this bait. A lot of those big fish, they look for the wounded bait, and that's initially what you're doing with topwater. And if you look, you know, don't be intimidated by 4 or 5 inch bait, because those 5+ pounders, even 4 pounders, when they're looking at a bluegill or looking at a crappie or something that's on the top of the water that's wounded like that, you know, they're not intimidated by coming up and eating that thing. So don't be intimidated to throw the bait either.
Awesome, Chris. Well, I think you've said it all about this thing. I'm excited to get out there and throw it myself. Especially, I'm thinking kind of like evenings, last light, getting out there, or first light if I can get out there that early. But I'm
Yeah.
excited about it, and I would say our subscribers are as well. So thanks for hopping on here and talking with us about it, man. And have a good one. Have a good 4th of July weekend.
All right, everybody do the same, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. All right, now that we've heard from Chris about his big mistake, let's head on over to Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit Pro from Port Orange, Florida, Tyler Woolcott, who's going to be telling us about the 13 fishing product in the box. So, Tyler, how's it going?
How you doing?
I can't complain at all, man. Happy to be on here talking a little bit about baits for July. I don't know how aware you are of it, but all of our subscribers in July are going to be getting the 13 Fishing Jabberjaw Hybrid Square Bill. Man, this thing's pretty cool. I'm excited for it.
Heck yeah. I've thrown this thing all over the country. It's a pretty awesome bait. Comes through cover awesome. I've always had trouble, especially with some square bill crankbait type baits, hanging up in wood and rocks. And this thing right here it's pretty special. It comes right through that stuff, especially if you figure out the slight retrieve on it. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but definitely a pretty special bait.
That was actually going to be one of my questions, because with this bill, let's see if I can show it very well. For the people that aren't aware, that bill actually is going to move back and forth, and it's kind of like a mix between a chatterbait and a square bill, right?
Yeah, so what 13 has done with this bill is they've created basically, like you were saying, a chatterbait style bill on a hard style square bill type bait. And what's another special thing they've added is there's little metal, I'm probably pretty hard to see, but there's little metal implants in the cheeks where when that bill actually clicks back and forth, it makes a super loud noise under the water. It's definitely an attention grabber for these fish, something different they haven't seen. And it comes through cover a lot better than a lot of square bill crankbaits I've used. We just got back from the James River and the Potomac River for the Pro Circuit and the Toyota Series, and this bait right here was thrown a lot. I actually cut it off a rod, and you can see it's been beat up, chewed. So definitely an awesome bait, something they haven't seen. So
That's what a lot of people, when they think summertime fishing, they're thinking deep diving square bills, heavy jigs, things like that. But there's a lot of circumstances in different parts of the country where a square bill is going to be almost at its prime this time of year. Like you were just saying about the James River, I was actually looking at the results, and 2 or 3 of the guys in the top 10, a square bill was a key factor in their success a couple weeks ago. So it's going to be a bait that's, I think, good all year long, especially spring, summertime.
Yep.
What kind of rod do you like to throw this thing on? And I know you want to talk about your retrieve a little bit as well.
Yeah, so with this bait right here, I just throw it on any kind of rod you throw, like a shallow diving crankbait or a square bill. I throw it on a 7-1 medium Defy 13 rod. I don't want anything too heavy, and you also don't want anything super light. So it seems like that Defy medium 7-1 is just perfect, because a lot of times it has a good kick to it, but it doesn't have what you would think it would have kick wise. So when they eat it, they're just kind of there sometimes. And if you're not careful, you'll rip them hooks out of it. And it comes with super sticky hooks. So you don't really have to set the hook much. You almost just want to reel into them. And these hooks it has on it will get them pretty good. So
very cool. And on that retrieve, are you going to be burning this bait, or are you kind of slow rolling?
It depends on the cover. with the rocks, what I like to do is get it down to where the rocks are. Then you kind of want to start to slow your retrieve up a little bit. And once it hits those rocks, I stop it and kind of pop it. It's almost like a chatterbait. I mean, it has that bill that clocks back and forth. So the more you kind of make it erratic movement with the bait, the more noise and action it's going to have. And like I said, it comes through rocks really well. I've had a lot less hang up rate with this bait than other ones. So it's definitely something with that bill and what they've done. It definitely has helped that as well. So pretty cool.
Very cool. And I would imagine with that jointed bill, this thing's going to run true no matter what. You're not going to have, this isn't the type of bait where you're going to have to tune.
No, absolutely not. It's definitely not something you're going to have to play with. You're going to take this thing out of the package. It's going to run true. I haven't had, I've probably had about 50 of these things ordered and thrown all kinds of different colors. They have some shad colors. They have craw colors, like I see one you have right there. I've thrown at Rayburn and caught a bunch of fish on. But I haven't had one bait that has come out of the package and run all weird like you have in some of these other style crankbaits. So it's definitely a pretty special bait in that regard as well.
Yes, and those two colors that we've got going out, I think this is green gizzard or just gizzard shad.
That's one of my favorites right there.
And then we've got the day-old guac, which is a pretty good representation of day-old guac and a pretty good crawfish representation, I would say. Really nice paint jobs on them, and I'm excited to see how this thing performs, and I'm sure our subscribers are as well. So, Tyler, thanks for hopping on here with us, man, and we are excited to get that jabberjaw in the water and go catch some fish with it.
Heck yeah, I'm glad to see these are going out to everyone. I'm hoping that people like them just as much as I do. Like I said, it's a super awesome bait, something that it hasn't been on the market, something fish haven't seen, which is definitely something I like to do when a new bait comes out. It's pretty cool to see how fish react to things they haven't seen. It's sometimes it can get pretty special out there. So hope you guys enjoy the bait as much as I do.
Awesome, Tyler. Well, thanks again, man, and you have a good one.
Yep, see you guys.
All right, big thanks to Tyler for hopping on, telling us about that jabberjaw. I think it's going to be a great bait for really everybody all across the country. So last but not least, let's jump on the call with Dayton, Tennessee pro who fishes on the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit as well as the Bass Pro Tour, who's going to be talking with us about the Big Bite Baits product in this month's box. So on the other line, we got Michael Neal. Let's head on over there. Michael, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. You know, it's a little warm, but still pretty good to have a couple weeks at home.
Good to hear, man. Yep, definitely. I think I've heard that from a couple of the different guys that I've talked to lately. Is nice little break to have. So very nice.
Yeah, I get a little more downtime before we go to ICAST and then hit the road up north for about 6 straight weeks.
Yeah, you all will be busy. Well, now that you are in this downtime, I hate to keep you for too long, but we're happy to have you on to talk about the Big Bite Baits Fighting Frog that all the subscribers are going to be getting this month. So tell us a little bit about it, how you like to use it this time of year.
Yeah, it's a great bait all year long. So it's a very simple bait. Dean Rojas, fellow Bass Pro Tour angler, actually designed this, but it's got 2 appendages down here that are claws basically, and it's got a swimming action, but it's not really overpowering. So it's not something that's just going to move a ton of water, but it's more subtle. But my favorite part about the bait is the hook slot. So I don't know how well you can actually see it, but when you get it in your hands, you definitely will be able to. It's a bait that you're not going to miss fish on. And that's because your hook point's not going to have much plastic to drive through. It makes the bait seem super soft. And it's just a very versatile bait. Like I said, at this time of year, I'm probably going to fish it 1 of 2 ways. I'm either going to Carolina rig it, fishing out off the bank, or I'm going to throw it on a wobble head, swing head, whatever you want to call it, just drag it in around points or offshore stuff as well. And then if you're on a place that's just, a shallow lake that they don't really get offshore, it's a great flipping bait. And, that's what I primarily do with this bait is 2 things, the flipping and a wobble head jig. And so, one of those 2 just depend on what part of the country you're in, how your fish set up, how they live. It can be a brim imitator, a crawfish imitator, really whatever you want it to be. Just depends on how you rig it up.
Definitely. And I think it does kind of get a different, it's branded a little different because it is a fighting frog. But
Right.
I really don't know a ton of people personally that use it as a frog style bait, rigged weedless on the top of the water. It's more of a flipping style bait, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not a topwater frog, even though that's what it's called, fighting frog, like you said. But yeah, anywhere from flipping anywhere out to 30 feet of water, 1 to 30, you can rig this bait several different ways, or you can even, it's got hook slots on the side also, and you can use it as a jig trailer. So if you want something with more of a brim tail type jig trailer going through the water, swim jig, anything like that, you can do that as well.
Definitely. And the two colors that we're sending out are going to be BTL and Magician. So talking about kind of a brim imitator with that green pumpkin magic look on that side and the chartreuse on the back. And then for a little bit dirtier water, this does have a little bit of purple to it. So another good brim imitating style bait there.
Yeah, those are two great newer colors. BTL's, a year or two old. The Magician, I think, just came out this year. Haven't actually got my hands on those, but I've seen some pictures of them. And, everybody's really lucky to get that color. Great brim imitator, like you said. And I like to throw something with that gold flake in it, especially. It just gives them something a little bit different than just a traditional green pumpkin or dipping the tails in chartreuse. It's just something a little bit different, makes it shine, lets those fish see a little bit better.
Definitely. So it sounds like this is the kind of bait that no matter where you're at in the country, like you were saying, if you've got shallow cover that you like to flip, or if you're out on a lake where you're fishing deep water, you can rig this thing a million different ways.
Yeah, anything that really resembles a crawl like that, you can do tons of different things with it. And that's why it never leaves my boat all year long. From one tournament to the next, north, south, east, or west, the fighting frogs are always in there.
Awesome, Michael. Well, we'll let you get back to your break between tournaments, man. And I appreciate you hopping on here with us, and good luck on the Northern Swing coming up here soon.
Absolutely. Thanks. Anytime. Good luck to y'all fishing the fighting frog.
Thanks, Michael. Well, guys, that is going to do it for the July 2022 Champions Club box. Hopefully you like this box as much as we do here at the office. If you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere that you can comment, comment and tell us what you did like about the box, what you didn't like, what you would have liked to have seen. I personally thought that this box was a good mix of some baits that you can fish deeper if you wanted to, and some baits that you can fish pretty shallow. So a little bit of everything, hopefully to keep everybody happy all across the country. That's the goal, to send out a box that's going to work in any state in the United States. So if you're not already a subscriber, like I said at the beginning, go sign up. Thanks again, guys, and we will see you all in August. So have a good one. Thanks again.